Is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. K-Man Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The K-Man Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Friday, the 3rd day of April 2020. I hope and trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, hopefully enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, and in my opinion, there are too many vehicles on the roads of the Cayman Islands, despite the soft curfew that is in place at this point in time, just simply too many vehicles on the roads of the Cayman Islands. But if you're on the roads of the Cayman Islands for whatever reason, we urge you again to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. And remember that the life you save may be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today with the new normal, we still want to wish you a happy birthday. And we want to tell you whatever you do in terms of celebration, do it in moderation, and at the same time, make sure that you continue to observe the personal distances from other individuals as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you and to your families, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times. And again, a big shout out to our colleague DJ Lynn. Want to wish him all the best and a speedy recovery as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working elsewhere. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Our phone lines are always open, and again this morning it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson who's waiting to take your calls. Those calls can come from our toll-free to our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us on 925-3261, where you can leave us a text message or send us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Today being Friday, it is the day that we have set aside for members of the official opposition to be in the studio with us, and it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me again this morning none other than the Honorable Arden Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. Mr. Mclean, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and morning to
Cayman Islands. Yeah, I'm back. These are some trying times for us, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But the message I want to send this morning, Lucy, is we all need to take responsibility and prevent this spread of this virus. And I think you mentioned too many cars on the road. It is too many.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many cars out on the road, and they're going nowhere. And I don't know if our people are taking it serious because it is not as widespread as anywhere else in the world. The Premier every day comes with this Grim Reaper report that he calls it, where there are many countries, the deaths are increasing overnight, over 24 hours, 3, 4, 5, 600 people. I think we believe that, or see that as too distant away from us for it to affect us. But that's not true. The fact that those people came in contact with someone, all the many cases overnight, 2, 3, 4, 5, thousands and thousands of cases, confirmed cases. The only way they can get it if they come in contact with someone with it. And I think I should give an example of how one can protect themselves. My father, born in 1919, he passed in July 2002. Now, we know what that period was. That was the period of where we were finding out about these communicable diseases: smallpox, chickenpox, measles, TB, polio, the likes. Oh, see, my father died in 2002, July 4th, and he never caught one of those diseases. So that's 80-odd years he spent on this earth. Now let me explain to you how, and to the people of this country, how my father did that. My father isolated himself every time there was an outbreak in this country of those communicable diseases. When we had it, Daddy locked himself in a room and would go out through, the push-up windows, or in those days it was the hinge windows. He would go through the window. Okay? When we became adults and had our children couldn't go there if they had one of those communicable diseases. And if we did, they could not go anywhere near my father's room. He locked himself in. No, that's what you call isolation, eh? And this story went on where one of my brother's children had chicken pox. This is recent, and Mac, my brother, in his calling my parents every day, checking on them. And one day when he called, my mother was talking to him, and she passed the phone to my father. And my father said to him, "I told you not to call my house. your family has chicken pox. That's the kind of protection my father did, and died 80-odd years of age and never got one of those diseases. I said all that to say that we can do the same thing. It mightn't be as drastic as or as fearful as my father did, but certainly we can isolate ourselves. And you can live a long life by protecting yourself like he did. We need to do it, OC. This is a serious, serious matter. And, you know, what really concerns me is that many of us in this community live with our aging parents and grandparents, and the younger ones who think nothing can happen to them, go out in our communities, interact with people, break curfew, even to do that. They will come in contact with this disease, and they then have to go back to that house. And even if they're asymptomatic, that's worse. They will go back to that home, and they're going to pass that on to their aging parents and their aged grandparents. I wonder who wants to be responsible for the death of their parents or their grandparents. That's how serious this is. I have been speaking to the Premier, and I guess I can say this, in private conversations. The Premier is concerned. He is as frightened as I am about this thing, about what can happen to this country. Just yesterday, he expressed to me that, and what are we going to do if this thing spreads and we have deaths in this country? That is what he says, Arden, I'm trying to avoid. But people will not listen. And because the measures that have been put in place are by and large working, that we don't have the widespread transmission, people are becoming complacent. People are very, very complacent in this country. Now,
Too complacent. Yeah.
I mean, my family is at home. They don't even come out because I'm allowed to come out. They'll send me out to get what is needed, and that's fine. But there should be only one person out doing business. Now, I haven't...
You should only seek to conduct that business which is absolutely necessary. People are out there as if it is business as usual. Instead of ensuring when they go to the store that they take a list, they prioritize the things that they need, they're returning the next day because it is their name is part of the alphabet, their surname is part of the alphabet, that are allowed to go, and simply because they're allowed to go, they're going back out there, exposing themselves. And unfortunately, it is not going to, until it hits home to people, hit them personally, they're not going to really realize the gravity of the situation. And that is unfortunate.
Unfortunate. And I've always said in this country, and this is not today, that we are too sympathetic to murder until it drops on our own doorstep. And I mean, that's serious, but maybe a little oversimplifying it, but you get the point. We don't care if it happens to someone else. We think that it can't happen to us. The Premier is now announcing that he is going to go to only allowing people in that alphabetical order out during those days. I have not talked to him yet since the briefing yesterday evening. But I am also going to recommend to him that he goes further and says one person per vehicle. You only need one person out of your household to go out and shop, for those essential services. Like you say, make a list. I make my list at home. I went to the shops yesterday on the time that my name is Mclean, so mine was yesterday. And I dealt with what I had to deal with for the whole household, and it was only a few items I needed, really. So people need to stay behind closed doors.
Okay, we have to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, with the Honorable Orrett Mclean will continue after this commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
William Banker Ebanks, 1882-1979. William Banker Ebanks was a seaman, steward, farmer, and carpenter, specializing in boat building, roofing, cisterns, coffins, and wood finish, as well as detail work. He sharpened tools with a specialty in saw repairs. He built the schoolhouse on the hill in Bosun Bay, West Bay, and was a member of its council. He also built the first Chapel Church of God on Town Hall Road, West Bay. He assisted with the construction of the West Bay Town Hall. He was the only dentist in the district for many years. Mr. Ebanks was a caring man who helped and shared with those who were less fortunate. He and his wife, Christabella Nee Parsons, had 7 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
This is a time of global challenge. We, the Cayman Islands, suffer along with the rest of the world. In recent weeks, Rotary Club Central has taken action toward meeting community needs right here, right now. We have donated Foster's Supermarket food vouchers valued at $2,800 to the Hope for Today and the Bridge Foundation, $5,000 to the needs of the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, $1,000 so our National Blood Bank can secure more donors and save more lives, $10,000 to those who feed thousands, the Samaritan Food Bank. Rotary Club Central, doing our part in community with funds raised from our community. Rotary Club Central, easing hunger, easing pain, helping where needed, saving lives. Remember, stay apart for now so we can live to move ahead together soon. Rotary Club Central, right here, right now.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please, everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
I remember playing at 7 Mile Beach as a boy, eating mango by the sea, learning how to snorkel. My mother, she worked so hard to provide for our family so that we could have those moments. Seeing her age has been tough. That strong, capable woman, now in need of daily support, it's my time to be strong for her.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of the careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States.
Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, seaboard.
Sending money to your family overseas shouldn't be a full-day process. Stop waiting in lines. MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide, offering 3 convenient locations: Shedden Road, Baden Water Sports in West Bay, and at FIS Brack Agency in Cayman Brack. MoneyGram by Financial Integrated Services. Visit fiscayman.com for more information on MoneyGram services. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, the Honorable Arden Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. In our opening segment, we were really trying to impress upon the public the need to ensure that they observe the rules, the regulations that have been put in place, heed the advice that is being given by officials, either through the press briefings or whatever additional information is put out there to you. Because unfortunately, there are some people who are still taking this COVID-19 situation, being very casual about it and not really recognizing the severity of it. We're still getting anecdotal evidence and hearing stories of employers whose businesses are not designated as essential and whose staff members are not designated as essential workers, forcing their employees to come to work. I have reason to believe also that there are small construction companies that may either have subcontractors or individual contractors, maybe 1 or 2 persons, and they are continuing to work in the construction industry, whether it be in many instances on private homes or private contracts that they have as well. These people are exposing others to this now.
And themselves, really.
Now, if some of those persons are persons who are here on work permits and have to generate an income to support themselves, and everyone has to do that, Caymanian, and otherwise they all have to support themselves. But if even more so those who are on work permits are being forced to do so, then that is something that needs to be addressed. Initially, when this whole situation started to unfold and we had people talking about the first thing we need to do is we need to get the work permit holders off the island, I was apprehensive about that. I never verbalized it because my thought was, we have these people here. We need them to work. When we needed them, we wanted them to be here. Now that we no longer need them, quote unquote, need them at this point in time, we're, saying that they should leave. But there was a wisdom to what people were saying, because we're now seeing either those persons now want to leave and can't leave for various reasons, including...
Or they're in contravention of the curfew.
Yep, including the fact that they're unable to support themselves financially and their employer may not have anything in place to at least try to tide them through for the next few weeks as well. But this whole thing about employers forcing employees to work needs to be addressed, and I believe the advice is that if they want to report such things, they should report it to curfew time at gov.ky.
33.
Yes, I think it is
244-33.
And they should report it because that should not be happening.
But OC, first of all, before I go any further, I need to express condolences to Gilbert Mclean. his brother died yesterday, Lavornon.
Wow, I didn't know that. And
yeah, he had some
also.
complications,
Yes,
and they flew him out last Saturday.
Okay.
And Gilbert is the older of the two. Well, he's the eldest child, but Gilbert, our Gilbert up there by us.
Yeah, I know Lara Vernon.
Vernon.
Yeah.
I know him as Lavornon, but I believe his real name is Lara. I don't even know. Yeah. I only know him as Lavornon.
I used to refer to him as Lara Vernon.
Well, I said Lavornon, but I believe that's a play on Larry or something, Lavernon. I don't even know. But I called Gilbert yesterday, and I just want to express public condolences on behalf of my family and all the people of East End, because they come out of East End,
Yeah. Yes.
And their father, really. That being said, no leader in this world wants to implement martial law. No one. I can't think of anyone unless you're in China or in a communist place or something like that. In a democracy, no one wants to put martial law in place. Well, what causes leaders to contemplate and possibly go to that distance is people's behavior and the lack of adherence to advice which is in the best interest of the well-being of a country, particularly in this case now. If no one adheres to the advice, then leaders have no alternative, because it's usually a small number of people compared with the population. Leaders then will put systems in place to protect the country. That's their responsibility. It's leaders' responsibility to do that, to make sure that the greater good is achieved. And we are getting people who are not adhering to it, yet we criticize the leadership of this country. And, Premier, government, and I are at odds politically. But there's no time for politics now. It is about us helping as much as possible to ensure that the greater good has been achieved. And we're not doing it by this minority of the population who continues to oppose what is being the advice of those in charge, but more importantly, the experts. OC,
or go contrary to what the advice that is being given.
Yeah, and OC, I hear people wanting to know who has COVID-19. OC, there's no need for you to know. If I don't even know, that is private between the physicians. And how would you like someone or to know what kind of illness you have and the doctors are letting that out? It's private. There's no need for it. If you follow the advice, OC, which has been given, stay home. Only go out when it's essential, when there are things you need to do. And if you keep your distance and protect yourself, then you will be okay. There's no need for you to know who has this. Exactly. Just protect yourself.
Top of the hour, folks, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back with the Honourable Arden Mclean immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is 7:59.
The letter that your last name begins with now determines when you can shop at Foster's and Price Right locations. Last names beginning with A to K can shop on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, while last names beginning with L to Z can shop Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. When you do shop with us, only send one person to the store. Leave your kids at home if you can. And don't bring your reusable bags. Don't panic buy. Conserve what you've already bought. And most of all, be kind to one another. For more, visit fosters.ky and follow at Fosters K-Man on Instagram and Facebook.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Value Med Pharmacy, with 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and an Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit Value Med, more than just a pharmacy. Did you know that Value Med Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with Value Med. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. Value Med on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The number of positive cases continues to climb in the Cayman Islands, and clusters are popping up across Grand Cayman. The country now has 28 positive cases. 237 have tested negative. Returning students from overseas who have been in quarantine at a local hotel have been told they will not be able to leave quarantine right away. According to a WhatsApp message sent last night, Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee told students that they wanted to do additional testing for COVID-19. The message says, quote, "We are doing this to reassure that you will not be a danger to your family or your community. Our aim is to test you on the day of your scheduled departure starting today." Dr. Lee goes on to say that he understands this will be a big blow for everyone, and even more so, it comes cruelly on the eve of some of the proposed departures. He stressed to the students that the move is being done to protect their loved ones and the community at large. Since the coronavirus outbreak began, healthcare workers and first responders have been on the front line protecting the public. But how safe are our police officers from COVID-19? The police commissioner for the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says his officers are all equipped with personal protection equipment.
Our officers have been working around the clock for long periods dealing with COVID-19. They are all issued with personal protection equipment, particularly the gloves and the hand sanitizers. We are all rigorously enforcing HSA and government guidelines on sanitizing processes personally in our workspaces and environments and in our fleet vehicles.
Commissioner Derek Byrne says he has briefed his officers on carefully observing the rules, also looking and listening intently for accurate information.
We emphasize on a continuous basis to all our officers the absolute need to comply rigorously with all of the guidelines, hygiene and health that have been provided through HSA, through the Chief Medical Officer, circulated on the hub and circulated again through our own website and through advisory memos to all of our officers.
To date, no Cayman police officer has shown any symptoms of COVID-19. Customs and Border Control updates all fishing vessels that have recently returned to Cayman.
The fishing vessels that had cleared outbound prior to the imposition of the travel restrictions and curfew will be cleared inbound with the following stipulations. The crew will have to self-isolate on board this vessel for 14 days as per public health and Port Authority protocols.
Premier the Honorable Alda McLaughlin clarified that wholesalers, grocery stores, and restaurants can purchase and collect seafood from the vessels while maintaining social distancing protocols.
No sale of the seafood is permitted directly to consumers. With immediate effect, until further notice and in keeping with government's policy, local fishing vessels will not be allowed to depart the Cayman Islands for the high seas or for another country.
Since the ports are closed, vessels that don't abide by the rules will not be able to return to the islands while restrictions remain in place. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Spain has overtaken Italy in its total number of confirmed coronavirus cases, meaning it's now fighting the second biggest outbreak in the world after the United States. The latest figures show Spain has now had nearly 118,000 infections. 932 people have died in the past 24 hours. Australia's Chief Medical Officer has warned that the actual number of the coronavirus cases worldwide could be 5 to 10 times higher than the 1 million known cases. Dr. Brendan Murphy said the underreporting was due to inconsistent testing in some countries. Google has published reports of location data from billions of mobile phone users during a 5-year period ending in March to show how different governments are succeeding in restricting movement. When compared with a 5-week period earlier this year, it shows that in Italy, visits to shops and leisure sites fell by 94%. But in Japan, such visits fell only 26%. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel has returned to work after a period of self-isolation. As a senior government advisor says measures to slow the spread of the virus are working. Professor Lothar Wieler said the death rate in Germany had risen to 1.2%. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Value Med Pharmacy, with 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and an Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit Value Med, more than just a pharmacy. Value Med Pharmacy is your community care partner for health and wellness needs. We offer convenient prescription processing at the counter and online at value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com, with pickup available at the Walkers Road or Boddentown location. We also accept transfer prescriptions from other pharmacies. More than just a pharmacy, shop Value Med for personal care and beauty products from trusted brands, perfume and gift sets, Hallmark and greeting cards, baby clothes, footwear, handbags, swimwear, home decor, toys, school supplies, and stationery. And home convalescence aids like wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, and hospital beds. With 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and in Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit Value Med, more than just a pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Digicel Shake to Win is back. Every Saturday, Digicel is giving you a chance to win LTE handsets, cash prizes, data, D-Music subscription, gas vouchers, grocery vouchers, and that's not all. Every week, you get a chance to win a $5,000 regional prize. Don't miss out. Simply download the new My Digicel app, activate a plan if you're not already on one, and shake to win every Saturday. It's that simple. My Digicel. More made simple. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household, if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Super Stitch. We are known for our amazing fabrics, top quality tailoring, and dressmaking. But did you know that we also carry trimmings, glitter, sequins, acrylic paints for fabrics and craft, floral wire, glues, markers, foam balls, and assorted ribbons? Yes, we do. You have a do-it-yourself project? Just pop into Super Stitch and see what we have in store for you. There is a craft item for your every need.
My favorite, the beads, glass ones, flat, and even those shell ones.
Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
That's a good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Relative humidity is 86%. Barometric pressure is 29.92 inches and rising. The winds are calm and the overnight low temperature was 72 degrees. Synopsis indicate light and variable winds expected to continue across the Cayman area over the next 24 hours, due in part to the dissipation of a cold front just east of the area. This weakening cold front may also support some overnight showers across the area, and radar images show isolated showers mainly northwest of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, mainly over Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Your winds will be light and variable, and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. And the forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures dipping to the low 70s tonight. Your winds will be light and variable, and tonight will become east to northeasterly at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 12:47. High tide this evening at 6:24. The sun will set this evening at 6:39 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:17. And the outlook is calling for continuing light east to northeast winds and smooth to slight seas through Saturday evening, with the winds and seas increasing slightly thereafter. That's the very latest on your weather report.
Superstitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Superstitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
New stock has just arrived at Superstitch. Now don't take my word for it, drop by and see for yourself. Fresh off the boat, we have loads of fabric, vinyl upholstery fabric, fabric for cushions, outdoor fabrics, and dress fabric. That's not all. Superstitch has sewing accessories and craft items. Included in the new shipment, you will find sheets, comforters, throw pillows, bath mats, rugs, and curtains for every room in your home. Superstitch, 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best price in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness. Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Emotions are an ever-present, pressing, and sometimes painful force in our lives. When your emotions start to make you feel out of control, find a healthy outlet to release your difficult feelings. Light exercise, keeping a journal, listening to music, or simply having a glass of water and taking a deep breath can help. Perform whatever activity keeps you safe and works for you in order to liberate yourself from these pent-up sentiments.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Water Authority Cayman's Grand Cayman office is closed until further notice and will only be providing emergency and essential services at this time. Customers in Grand Cayman who experience service interruption should call the authority's emergency hotline 946-4357. Customers in Cayman Brac who require trucked potable water can continue to make requests by calling 1403 between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. Interaction with the authority's customer service team will be limited, but customers can still make queries via email at info@waterauthority.ky. However, there may be a delayed response time. If you need to pay a bill, you can do it online by visiting our website, waterauthority.ky, and clicking on the Pay My Bill button. You can also make a payment via your bank. For updates and important messages from the Water Authority, visit our website, waterauthority.ky, and our social media pages.
Bring a little bit of luck to your house with Lucky Slice from America. Burgers, steak, and the all-day American breakfast. From Europe, fish and chips, pizza and crepes, and from Asia, sushi.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, 7 days a week, delivery or pickup, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. In these difficult times, we can all use a little bit of luck. Keep calm and stay lucky.
Minimize contact. Make your credit card payment by phone. Pay only for food. No delivery fee. No service charge. Certain restrictions apply. Call Lucky Slice Pizza to place your delivery order now. 949-3456.
Order from K-Man Creperie, Mojo Sushi, and Lucky Slice Pizza. Call 949-3456.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio K-Man.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, the Honorable Arden Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. A few things I want to share with our audience this morning. This first one has to do with the Health Services Authority and the expansion of their pharmacy services to a new location. So starting Saturday, the 4th of April, 2020, that is tomorrow, the Health Services Authority will be dispensing prescription refills for Cineco and private insurance members with 100% coverage from our new location at Smith Road Center, first floor. I'm going to repeat that, right? Starting tomorrow, 4th of April, 2020, the Health Services Authority will be dispensing prescription refills from their Smith Road location. Those refills will be refills for Cineco and private insurance members who have 100% coverage. Okay? And that's on the Smith Road location. Pickup from this location will be for refills requested on or after Friday, the 3rd of April. So you can only pick up if those requests have been made as of today's date, right? If you put in a refill today, you will pick it up on the Smith Road location, okay? Prescription refills requested before the 3rd of April. So anything requested before today are available for pickup at the Cayman Islands Hospital as usual. Okay? And it goes on to say, we are pleased to expand our pharmacy services in our efforts to expedite each interaction. Mr. Cullen Medford, the chief pharmacist, is quoted as saying, says that the new pharmacy refill location will provide more convenient options for persons to pick up prescription refills while maintaining a safe social distance of 6 feet. They also want you to know that the Smith Road Center pharmacy refills can be made by phone. You can call between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. 244-7542. I'm going to repeat that again. 244-7542. You can WhatsApp, send a photo of your refill prescription label, 925-65 6534, and I can attest to that. It works. I did it for my eye drops. They received it. I got a response back, and it told me when I could pick up my refill as well. So that WhatsApp one really works. Sometimes the phone may not be answered because people are busy, but certainly the WhatsApp one works really well. And like I say, they will respond once they receive the WhatsApp. You can also apply online. You fill out the online form on the Health Services Authority's website, www.hsa.ky. There is also a Dropbox, Dropbox refill. Refill Dropbox service is located outside of the Cayman Islands Hospital Pharmacy, and then of course you can do it in person as well. But I would say all of the options above that was given before in terms of the calling in by phone, 244-7542, WhatsApp in and sending a photo, 925-6534, doing it online, requesting it online, www.hsa.ky, use the Dropbox. And I would say the last resort is to do it in person. The Health Services Authorities Smith Road Center pharmacy hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. All refills will be ready for pickup at the Smith Road location within 24 hours, so within 24 hours. But that has to be for any refill that is submitted after today or after today. As the new location is for Cineco and private insurance with 100% coverage only, there will be no, and I repeat, no cash transactions at the Smith Road location. They also are pointing out that new prescriptions for all customers must be picked up from the main hospital pharmacy as normal. So any new prescription has to be picked up at the hospital pharmacy. Remember, this has to do with refills that they're doing at the Smith Road Plaza. They also want you to note They also want you to note that the Cayman Islands main pharmacy hours to comply with the curfew are 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on public holidays as well. So I hope and I trust that people have heard this. I will try again before the show is over to share it with you one more time because it is extremely important. So, Mr. Mclean, one of our listeners has written in and said, "Good morning. Please read on your show. We do not agree with Mr. Mclean about it there being no need to know who has the coronavirus. Lots of people in isolation. A lot of people are isolated at home, and some of them may be going out. If people knew who they are, they could report them, and the police could warn them about it and see that they stay home. The virus is very serious. The virus is completely different from other diseases like cancer or AIDS. Not sure if cancer is an illness, not necessarily a disease. I believe. I'm not a medical person. That people not need to know about it. So this is one person disagreeing, with you on that.
And that's fine. Mm-hmm. But here is the reason why I said that, and I trust that they're listening. We have to trust the authorities. The authorities are telling us that they check these people on a daily basis. They isolate them at home because they don't have have it seriously enough to go into a hospital. If everyone was in the hospital, then we would know where they are. But the fact is also that these people are in contact with their people at home, and I agree with that writer, that they might be coming out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But if we practice staying away from people, and we don't know who has this thing. It could be me, it could be you, OC. You could be asymptomatic and passing it on right now. It could very well be that writer that also has it. We don't know. But if we practice what we were told to stay away from people, then and treat everyone as if they have it, then you really don't need to know who has it. Once you stay away from people, this thing will work itself out and it will die out, because whomever has it, within 2 weeks, based on what we know, it will be pretty much gone, and the authorities are testing those people. That is why it is important that we protect ourselves. It is important that we please follow the instructions. If you stay far enough from people, you are not going to get it. I related the story of my personal experiences with isolation and how that works, and how long my family member lived without getting any of these communicable diseases. We need to ensure, I don't have any need to know who has it, because I'm treating everyone as if they had it. And you must treat me as if I have it also.
Mm-hmm. And you and I spoke when we were on the news break about this whole thing. We in the Caribbean have a tendency to stigmatize people whenever they have illnesses. I mean, for AIDS, for a while, it was almost worldwide that those persons suffering from AIDS were stigmatized. It lingered in the Caribbean for quite a while. Now we see, for instance, in the United States, persons who have contracted the coronavirus coming forward, relaying their stories of their many those who, there's a limited amount who can get on TV, and in many instances you're seeing the celebrities who are doing it. You see persons like Chris Como from
and
CNN
Prince
and
Charles
stuff like that,
and
yes.
the Prime Minister of England
and then,
stuff.
And then there are stories that are carried of normal persons, regular persons as well.
And nurses and
it would be nice. It would be nice if someone who has dealt with the situation here in the Cayman Islands can come forward and be the face of coronavirus in the Cayman Islands, to let people know what they have gone through, and to highlight and re-emphasize the importance of following all of the rules that have been put in place in terms of
but that should be a voluntary thing, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It would be good if people would do that, but because of the fact that we stigmatize people in this country and in the Caribbean in general, we stigmatize people. It has to be a very, very brave person to come forward to either do. Well, you could also have the person do a sound bite, and you could disguise their voice and stuff like that. I mean, I don't like to use myself as an example, but I suffer from glaucoma, okay? And there was a South African doctor who's a very good doctor at the eye clinic, and he and I spoke, and he said, people know you suffer from glaucoma. They know you. You would be a good person to talk to people and tell them about getting tested, about following the regime as far as the regimen, as far as taking your medication and everything. And if we could have that in the Cayman Islands, I believe that would wake up people as well. But unfortunately, many people want to know who are infected here in the Cayman Islands simply out of curiosity, and that can't fly. That can't fly.
This is an honor system. We have. I heard the CMO say that. I heard the Premier say it. This is an honor system. Yes, I agree with that writer, that those people may be coming out in the community. But if they have an honor about themselves, they would not come out in the community and know there is that high probability of them spreading it. We really shouldn't. But getting back to this thing about people coming on the radio and talking of their experiences and whatnot, let's look at my former colleague, public figure, good friend, CG. When CG had cancer, most of us know CG was down in Texas for a long period of time. When CG came home, he voluntarily went on the radio to help people with it.
Yes.
And I believe that is an honorable thing to do. I really believe that's an honorable thing to do. If you survive it, or even if one of your loved ones passes from it, it's an honorable thing to do, to come out there and say, this is what happened to my family. That's why I was just using my father, the man that I love most in this world, my parents, to try to help people understand that you can isolate yourself and live a long life without getting communicable diseases.
Okay, we have to take a commercial break, and I believe we have about 3 or 4 calls lined up. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly. We will take your calls as soon as we return.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, formerly known as Professional Pharmacy, would like to thank the Cayman communities for their loyal support these past 18 years. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care. Thorough background checks and follow-up consultations is only the beginning. Your safety is our concern. Our staff are respected healthcare professionals whose job requires careful and precise calculations. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, where we prepare to provide exceptional care. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we care about your health.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes, Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore,
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household, if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800 534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Honorable Orrett Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. Before we go to the phone calls, just want to say for those persons, who have concerns about the location or the individuals who have contracted COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands, 2 rules you can follow. Pretend as if you have it and follow all of the rules, or pretend that everyone around you has it and follow all the rules as well. Also, one of our listeners wanted to know, because actually in the press release it spoke about Smith Road Plaza, but they wanted to know what the number of the building. It is 10 Smith Road Plaza. It is where the elections office used to be, on Smith Road as well.
Where Mr. Norman Barton House was.
Yeah, well, many people may not know that. But yes, where the elections office used to be, 10 Smith Road Plaza, that's where the Health Services Authority has for you, set up for you to pick up
what's the insurance downstairs there? IW.
ICWI, I think it is, something like that.
The insurance is there,
yes. Yeah. But it's number 10 Smith Road. Let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yes, and ICWI Insurance Company, and thanks for the address, Mr. O.C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good morning. I just want to say that, Mr. Connor, we got roughly about 65,000 people living here with us on this island. And from the government, been having all these briefing every day in regards to what to do and what not to do. It is appalling to see how such a small group of people can't abide by rules and regulations to try to save their lives and other people's lives around them. To see that I am not on it.
Go ahead, we're hearing you.
Yeah. And just to see that people is just not taking this serious. We got a lot of this concern, and we got some that don't care. And I'm getting to the point now that every day they're saying that they wanted this one and that one for breaking the curfew and so forth and so forth. Put an anklet on their man and hold them inside for 14 days, and if they come back out before that 14 days, then you put them in jail until they learn to understand and accept the law that Mr. Alden is going to try to protect this island.
Mm-hmm.
We got our own our people here dropping down from age and different things. They don't want it to be from this virus, And the thing about it, if you think that education is expensive, try ignorance. And I believe that Mr. McLaughlin has seen the type of people that we have here in this island that we have to deal with on a daily basis, that is not a half a camper on a daily and weekly and monthly and yearly here in the Cayman Island. And he kept mentioning no kids in the store. I saw kids in the store this week. They say no grocery bags. Foster had one shop in Carterside full of bags where people are bringing and they're not letting them take them into the store. Another store made them carry it in. Also, people is not listening, and they're not going to stop until this man put some serious curfew on us in this island.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to listen and obey for once and for all. If they don't care, even in my Cayman, and if you all don't care who die with this, well, you all pack your bags and go sit on a coconut tree and stop making the man repeat himself every week and telling us to stay indoors. Or see, I just want to say that those officers down here by Foster Countryside, they're doing a very tremendously good job. They're very friendly, very courtesy, and very, very helpful when you're there in the line up here Countryside.
That's good to know.
I just want to leave that with you all, and I just pray for Alden because he's trying his very best to keep us inside. But I telling him right now, put some anklets on and stop warning those guys that they're stopping on the road and so forth. Hey, put an anklet on them. And put them away for a while in their own home.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take them to jail. For real. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, caller.
I got to disagree with her about putting anklets on. We would have I don't know how many we would have, and then that takes away from the police again to monitor that. If you get caught and you're not supposed to be out, you heard me just recommend, which I'll talk to the Premier about, one person per car, and that cuts it down even better. Okay, it is not. I don't know if I want to be as cruel as cruel as calling it ignorance. It is human behavior. People are going to press the limits. People are going to challenge whatever the country, the state puts in place. And they don't understand it's to their own detriment and those people around them.
And that's why it would be probably good to either have automatic fines or I know the whole, personal distancing thing makes it difficult, but I see other jurisdictions where the next day people are in court being charged for breaking curfews and things of that nature. And what people are asking for is immediate justice, because that's the only way. If they have to wait until next year before they go to court, it doesn't help the situation.
Well, I think maybe we need to get those magistrates or whatever. I think it's a B class offense. We need to get those magistrates out and do it immediately. But if you get caught at Franksong Road, you're not essential, and they warn you of prosecution. If you continue down the road and you get caught in Baden Town, then you should get charged a second time too.
Okay. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Connor and Mr. Mclean. I hope you are doing well today.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Fine, thanks.
Yes, first of all, I called Mr. Mclean, Mr. Gilbert yesterday, and spoke to him personally because he's very close with me, and I just want to extend my condolences to him and his family of his brother passing. I would agree with Mr. Arden about the one person per car, but I know that there's a lot of people that have to drop some of their family members to work that can't drive, and like now that they don't have no bus service, how could you go around that?
You prove it.
You could answer me that question, because I know.
You just prove it. If that person has to go to work, that means that person is an essential worker. And the government, Premier, whichever one you want to say, has announced that you must have a letter and an ID from that place of work. So if someone is dropping them there, then you just prove it. Prove that you're dropping someone to work. How you gonna prove it? Produce the letter and your ID. That's it.
And when that request is being made, one of the things that can be done also is that when you're making the request, you indicate that such and such a person is driving me, and they will be given the exemption as well. Ms. Susan, my mic is not coming through pretty good, but okay. So a similar caller, you still there?
Yes, what happened along with that, Mr. Connor, is also suppose the person got on their uniform to work. Do they still need the letter? Because plenty of the places are kind of slow and hesitant to give by the person. Suppose somebody working at a gas station and they got on the gas station
It makes no difference. Anybody can get uniform. You have to have the letter with your name on it and the ID.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't know that anybody could get a gas station uniform, I didn't know that, sorry. If they're going to work and they got their Rubies or their whatever gas station uniform, I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, you can give it to a friend and say, you wear it today. Yeah. No, in Cayman, we want too many exemptions. It's all about enforce it on them, but not on me.
Yeah, and let me explain now. A lot of people may not understand this process. Legislation is developed and promulgated to control people's behavior. That's what legislation is in a democracy. No, you ain't getting around that. Now, when legislators are making legislation to control behaviors, then what you have to do is to ensure that it applies to all. When there are exceptions to the rule, you try to make them as small as possible. The more exceptions you have in legislation, it don't make sense put the legislation in place. It just does not make sense. That is rubbish. That's why this government in their regulations said supermarkets, gas stations, pharmacies, and something else, hospital.
Visitor hospital.
Right. We keep it as tight as possible because we want the people off. If you continue to add on for pool, for this, for that, the regulation can be null and void.
Defeating the purpose. You're defeating the purpose.
You're defeating the purpose of the legislation.
Yeah. Caller, thank you very much for that. We have to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please, everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household, if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 4 callers lined up, so what we're going to ask the callers to do, pose the question that you have, and then you can hang up and wait for the response either from me or from Mr. Mclean as well. Let's take the first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and good morning, Honorable Mclean.
Morning.
First, I'd like to also extend my condolences to Mr. Gilbert Mclean and the rest of his family. I don't so much have questions. It's just some comments, and hopefully somebody will be listening and they could take this into consideration.
Okay.
The banks, that's the first one. In light of what they're doing now, they need to consider extending the hours of operation And in addition to that, they need to open a second location somewhere so that, in other words, you can have one like sort of mid-island, that the Eastern District could use that one. And then since they're mostly opening either Georgetown or Cayman Bay, just have that then for people in West Bay and Georgetown. The phone service that they have set up is definitely not working. The other one is there is still a major problem with distancing in the supermarkets. I don't think people know what 6 feet is, so perhaps the Premier might want to suggest to each one to get a measuring tape, practice it. So also the supermarket staff could sort of police that so that people are keeping that 6 foot distance. And then this is my suggestion, and I would strenuously recommend this. All these people that are breaking curfew, obviously there are people who don't want to stay in. So I think the biggest punishment that you could give them, instead of fining them, automatically put them in quarantine. Because that way, you wouldn't have them on the street again to warn or to fine, and they won't be a danger to the community. And this is a question, I don't know if any of you can answer it, and I'm hoping someone is listening, or maybe someone already knows. The flow payments. I know that you can make your light bill payment at the gas station. Digicel is doing the same thing. So I was wondering if Flow had any arrangement in place with any of the gas stations, or how are they dealing with the Flow payments? Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Good weekend. Be safe. Stay home.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Morning.
Honorable Mr. Mclean, Leader of the Opposition.
Morning.
When is the next sitting of the Assembly?
I couldn't tell you. It's not the opposition that set the sitting, it's the government who does.
Okay, and you have no idea?
No. The rules require them to notify me not less than 10 days prior to.
Okay.
So we know that it's not in the next 10 days.
Okay. Well, I hope someone, out of all the members of the Legislative Assembly, I hope someone brings to the floor of the House the importance of us building a new hospital in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, Mr. Connor, I didn't finish because I would just like to congratulate the government on what they're doing. I think they're doing an excellent job.
But it can only be as successful as, when people follow what the instructions are. So if you really want the government to do a good job and to be successful, then people need to follow their instructions.
Yeah, the good book said to give, render Caesar what it belongs to Caesar. And I really think that they're doing a good job. I admire them. I haven't been to the supermarkets or anything in a long time, which I really not too particular in going. I up in age now, but people don't believe my age, but I'm 70. But the part is that is also that real quickly, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about the MoneyGram situation, that their families, overseas, and a lot of them are, different things. And some people say, well, nobody not supposed to have no money, they're supposed to save their money. But then we wouldn't know the situation of the person who's sending money or whatever, they could afford it or whatever, but life still has to go on although we're in quarantine. So that was just
But we would hope and trust that those same persons who are sending the money off the island don't end up then being a public charge later on, being the government having to support them financially as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying now. I mean, we don't know the situation.
Well, I want you to know, and I gotta make this publicly known. I said to the Premier, I made it very clear to him, I do not support opening those transfer places.
Okay.
Because the Premier has announced that he's going to use the resources of this country to assist those on work permits who have fallen on hard times now, because he said it's a humanitarian act on the government's part. Support it? No problem. I wrote him about opening up their pension to allow them to take from it $850 a month. And that way it wouldn't take that much off government. Now, you cannot expect us. The most of the remittance, whatever you want, is going out of here.
Mm-hmm. And we're assuming one of the assumptions that we shouldn't make before we follow up this conversation. I said something just now, and I realized after, and I need to correct myself. We can't assume that everyone who's remitting money is a work permit holder. It could be a Caymanian with, sufficient financial resources who's sending it off to someone else overseas as well. So we can't make that. So you're absolutely right, caller, to that extent. I apologize.
And I totally agree with you, but in the same token, OC, you will agree with me that we are in a pucker ourselves. And we need all the resources available here now so that we can get this economy back going, so we can get to the good times where we'll be able to remit those funds to our loved ones overseas, whether we're on work permit or we Caymanians.
Okay. Caller, you finished now?
Yes, sir. And like I said, I went to the hospital pharmacy this morning because it was a compulsory I had to, and it is working wonderfully.
That's good news.
It is working wonderfully. They allow like 4 people in, I think, at a time, but it was in and out real quickly.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you very much for that. For the caller who wanted to know about Flo, I see, and I'm just, this has come directly to my phone from Flo as a customer. It says it's as easy to pay your bill through the Flo app, www.discoverflo.ky, your online banking portal, or over the phone by calling 747-5050, hashtag, and then, of course, they give the hashtag Stay Home Cayman. So I think that's assuming that the person has, like a debit card or something like that. If they're paying cash, then different. We have one more caller we're trying to grab before the 9 o'clock news. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning to you all there.
Good morning, sir.
I'll just call in because I was Mr. Edmund here watching CNN last night, and it was very, I would say, informative of how they were talking about in New York that this thing was sort of hold back. I am just applauding the government right now of Cayman Island. That would be the premier, the governor, and those that sitting on there and give us the regular news in the evening. Are very, I would say, grateful that they're putting this thing in place, because what I can understand, if China, we following China rules now or something with China, and because of how they kept back so long before they start doing this thing, I think we are on the right track. And I'm saying to the Caymanians, do what is suggested for us to do, and I believe we would survive this thing. I would tell you, the Lord is with us, and He's always been with us. But if you can't abide by the law of the rules of the country, then something is wrong with us. So I am saying I applaud them of what they're trying to settle and what they're trying to do, because I think they're on the right track. And if we do that, I believe we would survive within another, I don't know how long, maybe a month or two. But what I heard there last night was very discouraging to know a place like in United States, especially, they're giving that man a really rough time, and it looked like he just kind of holding off because he's, we can go on another month, we can go on another 2 months. But I think in God's help, and I call the Caymanian people, each morning to get up and ask the Lord for guidance. And when we get something that we know that is fair, then we do it because we have to do it. We have to do it. I mean, it's just the two of us up here now. I went to the shop 2 weeks ago, and I went back another time. But if that is what we need to do, just what we need to do.
Well, Mr. Edmond, hello, sir. You in a good place, come on back. You stay right there, but you can't get out anyhow.
But that's the honest truth. I feel a little lonely because there's only two of us up here and the rest of the families in Grant.
Yeah, well, I got to take care of them for you.
Take care of them? Okay.
Yeah, especially them that live up in Savannah by me, you know?
Oh, yeah. So true. So God bless you all.
And thank you very much too, sir.
Yes, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmund. Folks, top of the hour, 9 o'clock news, headline news. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man.
It's only 2 species that we have here on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
For today's biggest news. Access.
Local, regional, international, this is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom team.
Today's biggest news.
Cayman Airways announces that commercial passenger flights between Grand Cayman and the sister islands have been reduced to 1 week per flight. These flights are restricted to essential travel only. Cargo will be permitted on these weekly flights, and additional cargo-only flights will be operated as needed based on demand. The White House is expected soon to advise Americans living in coronavirus hotspots to wear cloth masks or scarves in public to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Residents of New York, the outbreak's epicenter in the U.S., have been urged to cover their faces in public, but not to use surgical masks. And teachers in England will be asked to decide the grades they think pupils would have achieved in canceled GCSE and A-level exams. This will be used by exam boards to award results, along with a ranking order by ability of each pupil in a school, also to be sent in by teachers by May 29th. The grades could be changed if schools seem too generous or harsh, and to make the overall distribution of grades consistent with other years. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Honorable Orrett Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. One listeners brought it to my attention that they believe that at one point in time in announcing the pickup of the Smith Road Center, that I may have said Smith Road Plaza, and it is the Smith Road Center, 10 Smith Road, number 10 Smith Road. Smith Road Center, not Smith Road Plaza, as I erroneously said at some point. I know when I read it from the release, I said Smith Road Center, but I may in ad libbing said Smith Road Plaza as well. So my apologies for that. Hope I didn't confuse anyone, but again, it is number 10 Smith Road, the Smith Road Center. Mr. Mclean, earlier we were talking about the someone being the face of the virus, and I know some of my listeners are going to say, there he goes again, Bermuda. But there's a story in the Royal Gazette today, and it is the headline is Survivor Tells of Life-Changing Experience. And the reporter writes about it, quotes the person or sometimes paraphrases what they have said without giving their name because the person wanted to remain anonymous. But these are things that I believe that can be helpful in alerting people and highlighting how serious this thing is.
I would hope, OC, that and those who are listening to me, those of you who have contracted this virus, when you're over it, I would hope that you would volunteer your time, even if you don't want your name like this one in Bermuda. I would hope you do. I don't think it's a matter like I was saying earlier about the lack of knowing, the need of or not of knowing who people are. Currently we know how these people, the additional cases are contracted, because it's within households. According to the CMO, I think it was only one other case that was outside that. But we know these people came in from overseas. There are people, there are residents, there are Caymanians, or you couldn't get in, really. And unfortunately, they may have they would have come in contact with it elsewhere. But the law does not allow us not to bring our people home, or allow them, refuse them entry and back to their homes. Anywhere in the world, if you're Russian, you can go back home. So, and then within their households, they're passing it on. So 90% of this, more than 90%, is contained. It's controlled. We know exactly where it is. It's the authorities then, the medical people, who then public health, who then tracks whether or not those people went outside of those homes and that kind of stuff, and contact those people and test them. You see, we got 20 plus cases now. With the 5, that's about 28. With the 6, that's about 28. And we did long over 200 tests. That is because we're testing these other people. Now, the government is hoping to get 200,000 test kits, hopefully soon. Then we will have a better control on testing everybody, because 200,000 can test this country 3 times, maybe around 3 times. Of course, we probably won't need all of those, but when you go through the first time, do it at a fast pace with the authorities, with the medical people. And once we find those that are asymptomatic, then we can isolate them and keep them out of the way of others. And we can get back faster to the point where our local economy and the people are allowed to come out and interact. That's not to say that this thing is going away in its entirety in our lifetime. I don't think it will ever be. I believe the only disease that was ever cured, was ever eliminated, was polio. But like the flu, it's a lifetime thing. We will always be getting flu. Some of us will get it each year. Some of us will get it once every 5 years or 10 years or whatever the case may be. But it has not been eradicated. It has not been eliminated. And I do not believe corona will ever be. But we will get a cure for it if you catch it in time. And we're still going to have, in our lifetime, people getting seriously ill with it and possibly dying from it, just like how people die from flu. But that's not to say that we need to take it lightly.
Okay, we have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. How are you?
Arden is Roger Marion. I can call my name.
All right, Roger. How you doing, old boy? You staying safe?
Staying safe. Oh, yeah. Full of faith.
Yep.
I'm born in March, and I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. Full of faith.
I hear you.
Anyway, Arden, I lost your phone number. I had to buy a new phone and transfer them, and I lost a lot of my numbers.
But you must be the only one that got it. 916-0630.
Hang on, just give me 1 second, write it down quick.
916-0630.
All right, because what I want to do is send you a message on the phone.
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
And I want you to, take a look at it.
All right.
I'm not going to talk too long about it because you can look at the message. But it's to do with coronavirus.
Okay.
And how that really started. That never started from no bat and no snake in China. That's starting from G5 radiation. And this man is sending a deadly message about it. And believe you me, he's speaking the truth about it.
Okay.
This is all a Babylon setup. All a Babylon setup. All due respect to the good politicians in this whole world. You understand me? Because there's good and bad in everything. You got good people in church and bad people in church. That's the way it is. Good in water and bad in water. That's the way it is. But after I saw this message, I tried to call about it. Because about the last week of February, first week of March, I got really sick. And I'm driving taxi all day. I was doing tours off the ship, full loads of people, right? Mm-hmm. I got really sick, but when I get sick, I basically, from a typical old Caymanians, don't tell anybody that you're sick. You just take your licks. And what's like that. And I was sick for like 2 weeks. I had inward fever. I had hard breathing. And I wake up in the night with my soaked with sweat in my bed, with AC on. And it went away after 2 weeks. And I come home in the evening and I didn't want to come. I live by myself, so I didn't want to come around. And I was talking to a guy on the beach this morning. I went to the beach 6 o'clock and I was talking to another guy. And he started telling me the same story. He said, Roger, you know, that's been around before now. And the way he explained the same symptoms I had. He says bad feeling, weak, hard breathing, temperature, everything. So I'm not saying I had corona, but whatever I had was pretty bad. But the things that I was doing, that I was taking, I guess helped me. You know, with it, and it's all natural stuff. I don't take aspirin. I don't take no pharmaceutical products. I exercise, go to the beach, moringa seed, garlic, honey, coconut water for my blood pressure, natural things. Okay, but I can send you this this on WhatsApp, and I want you and OC to take a look at it.
All right, Raj. Thank you very much, caller. One more caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC.
Hey, morning. How's it going?
Good, man. Morning, Mr. Mclean, Elvis here in the block.
Morning. How you doing up in the Brock? You all right?
Oh, fine. It's sifted flowing. But I'm talking about these, because you got some little fools rolling up and down, man, because they got family here and there, and that got stopped. Yeah. Because I got to tell you something. I told somebody, this is my whiny mate. Crazy can be medicated. Illiterate can be educated. Stupid, there's nothing to be done with that. Nothing. No, Mr. Mclean, and this is to all of the LA members. The government doing a great job, because I don't say that straight up. Everybody is hand on the wheel, and we work together. Good job. But now, my friend, they're getting 200,000 kits come in, right? That we can test all of the people. What about all of the illegals that is here? You think they come and get tested? What about that, my friend? See, no about that, thinking about that. You remember when I was calling from last year to put a special task force to clean it up? Not a soul listen to Elvis. But look here, Elvis, Tommy drunk, you know, but Tommy not no fool. And I'll thank you, and I'll think about that, my friend. Think about that strong.
Well, my response to that would be, and Elvis should have stayed online really, is I spoke about martial law earlier, something that no leader in any democracy wants to promulgate, implement. Let me tell you something, if that's what it takes to ensure that every human being in this country is tested, then that's what needs to happen. We will round them up. That's what will have to happen. This is in the greater good. So we take it by districts, or we put people in districts and we blockade them. That's all, you know. And yeah, people are going to say, "Arden, you're militant." That's not a military exercise. But if that's what is necessary, that's not being militant. If that is what is necessary to protect this country, then I'm going to sit down with the Premier and tell him and advise him and support him doing that. Simple.
Okay, good time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
A public service announcement from Radio Cayman. Coronavirus prevention tips. Advice for vulnerable people. Extra steps you can take to avoid COVID-19. If you have a chronic illness, such as respiratory disease, diabetes, heart disease, COPD, hypertension, or cancer, or are elderly, over 60, or have a compromised immune system, you can further protect yourself with extra precautionary steps in addition to prevention tips. Remember, you are supported. Call the HSA helpline on 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077 if you have any questions. For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Honorable Arden Mclean, Leader of the Opposition. Two issues that we want to address. One, caller wanted to get some comments about what was said about the banks. And another one has a question in relation to why do liquor stores have to be open? Why are they open? I would say I don't see anything that I have from the Bankers Association, but Cayman National Bank on the 30th of March 2020 did issue, make an announcement in relation to their operations, and it reads that in order to reduce the risk of community transmission of the virus, Cayman National will be observing designated banking days. Customers whose last names start with the letter A through K will be able to conduct essential over-the-counter banking business Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, and customers whose last name and start with the letters L to Z have been assigned Tuesdays or Thursdays. As we would have advised earlier, while most of our locations remain closed due to necessary measures countrywide, our customer service centers on Cayman Brac and at Camana Bay at 6200 Forum are open for essential over-the-counter service from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's on those designated days with the hours. It says, while we recognize that on Grand Cayman, Elgin Avenue is one of the more popular branches. It is also our head office and the hub of our operations. Our aim, in addition to the continued safety of our customers and staff, is to minimize disruption to our services, and in doing so, it is necessary to restrict our Elgin Avenue presence to internal operations only. Please note that Camana Bay is the best of all our centers to maintain social distancing comfortably and also has covered parking. Be savvy, safe, and stay healthy. Banking with Cayman National.
Well,
so that was their response.
Let me just say about these things. These things, this situation we're in, this crisis we're in, is evolving on a not daily basis, on a minute basis. So when the government tries to put a few things in place, we're going to have little teething problems with it. I am sure when the Premier hears these little things, he will then go back and have meetings with the bankers and say, see if you can make it a little more efficient, because I hear it. One of my constituents called me yesterday. They stood up from 10 o'clock till 20 to 1 in the line, and they still have like 8 people in front of them. Therefore, she knew she was not going to get served. Mm-hmm. So she left. And she'll go back on the alternate days now, which would be tomorrow, right? Oh, but they're not open. But they're open to all today, all the banks. So, and it's a short period of time. It is. But these things, as they evolve, we will hopefully get them a little more efficient. But then, you'll have at least 2 days out of the week, or 3 days out of the week that you'll be able to go. So I think if we exercise a little patience, we will see that these things work themselves out, and you will get your stuff done. There are a number of things I hope will come out of this. Lessons will be learned, and we can change the way we do business in this country, such as really everybody should have a little bank card so that they can have access to their monies. Hopefully that will happen out of this too. Those who don't have it now will move towards getting it, so that they don't have to go there, and they can pay their bills through that service. And there are a number of other things that I hope will happen from this as well. One of the things we have done in this country is we have used construction as our stock market. Why? Because we want everybody in one building, so that the businesses, so that we can see exactly where they are. Well, now the businesses are going on, albeit that they're restricted in how much business they can do. But all their staff are working at home, especially the financial industry. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that this now can, with the new technologies coming on board, Skype, which that's been there, Zoom and the likes, your employees can work right at home, and they're right in virtual office. You can just log on and find them right there. And what that will do, it will extend itself into less traffic on the road. So I am hoping that, and I'm looking forward that to the future, that some lessons will be learned, and we will have good behaviors, and we will change our way of life, all for the better as a result of this. I think also what will happen is our social interaction will have to be reconsidered, distancing and the likes, and those are things. But the human behavior is you tend to forget what happened to you in the past. Mm-hmm. Different people forget it take different lengths of time to do it. I remember as a seaman in the late 70s, early 80s, when AIDS break out. Oh, see, that was the worst thing this world for us out to sea. And then all of a sudden now, we don't have it, and we don't remember it. You know, it has passed us. So I'm hoping that the social and the human behavior, the world over, but in particular, world over in general, but in particular in this country, that we will have some reconsideration of the things we do.
On the liquor thing, what my comment on that is that I would hope and trust that those persons who are against the consumption of liquor do not use this situation to suppress the sale of liquor or people's ability because of their own personal choices to consume alcohol. There are people who still consume alcohol and do it in a responsible way. And I don't hope and I trust that those persons who have a complete aversion to the consumption and sale of alcohol should use it, for this. Because then the atheists may say, what about churches? Then what do you say then? We in a situation of crisis so serious as this, the last thing that we want to do is to start to scapegoat people, make people scapegoats, make behaviors, scapegoating behaviors, as well.
I mean,
we have a couple of callers and try to grab one caller before we go to the break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So, good morning to the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Morning.
Aspirin is a natural thing. Someone was saying that. It's a natural thing. Aspirin is made from the bark of a willow tree. And there are mostly in the pharmacy now, as we see, are natural things. Very few medicines over-the-counter medicines are not natural. And even what you get from the hospitals, so many of it is not natural. Another hospital, the only place you could put that would be the old Grand Pavilion. It would be a very central thing, well-designed building, and I worked here many years ago, and it has a good parking ability. Whenever I mention about direct income tax, I know I get cut off, and people don't understand the reason why I mention it over the years. I got kind of tired of it because people don't want to hear something that is inevitable, and this drives it home. And many times I listen to the financial, when the MLAs are there doing that, and you realize that's what they're beating around the bush with, but afraid to say it. The reasons for what I'm saying is that it gives the government the control to know who would need and who won't need it. Immediately you don't need that. Any persons going around the people's houses and knocking on the doors and taking surveys, which are mostly utilized by the private sector anyhow. And the thing with it, I've always mentioned that we need it, and strict. I've said it over and over, try to hammer it home. People should have a official identification on them. I believe in it. I've always maintained that. You should not be able to walk around without something to identify you, particularly here where you have 140 nationalities. You must have an official ID. An ID is a number. I believe in numbers. Everyone must be given a number. You can have the same name. You cannot have the same number. You can't have the same number. And that, to me, is very, very essential. The other thing about this plastic-free came, and I've never believed in that. Never believed in it. If there are bags found on the beaches, we're not enforcing the law. I know it's very difficult, police to drive around, but we see it all the while, the people leaving trash on the beaches. We can't simply ban things because someone breaks the law and does something with it. They could ban knives because some people have been murdered with knives. We can go down the line and do this kind of hurry-up legislation. It makes no sense. Now we see where the people can't use the bags that we're forcing them to buy or telling them to buy. And we have to revert to this. So we can't hurry up things like that. And I don't believe in that. A lot of people, as you're just saying, Mr. Mclean, and you, so see, because of the progress in electronics and so will be out of work too. There will be. It will only be the people in the hotels and doing the menial work after a while will really be having jobs out, so to speak, and actually doing the work. We see with those countries where we say, why didn't they lock down, why didn't they do this? If they were to shut down completely, what would happen to us? We have no natural resources. Our money comes from somewhere else. Most of the United States, those factories, those people going into the factories, to the mines, the steel mills, the many, many different things, the very huge companies that make the telephones that we have in our hands, the laptop computers, all kinds of fancy electronics. Those people have to go to work to keep it going. There are huge container ships going in from China, some of them passing through and transferring the cargo in Jamaica. And Jamaica has a big transfer shipment point there, and they come from there and come out. And every day there are 30, 40, 50 giant ships going into Texas and other places, mostly in the Gulf states, and going in there and trading, and have to do this to keep business going, to keep the money circulating.
But that's
a reality, and they have to do it. They have to go to work. They have to risk themselves, and people will have to do it here too. Total isolation is impossible. People must take personal responsibility, as you're saying. Well, you can't have everybody isolated in a hospital or in a hotel or something. They must take personal responsibility. Stay home. We have to have a more disciplined society, and that's why I'm so glad we're forming a regiment which will give some discipline to our young people. Ragtag bunch standing up, bumming and begging, and when they could be working, and so forth. Anyway,
thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much for that. Time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
Insurance is complicated. Make your life easier and better protected with comprehensive financial solutions from FIS Insurance Brokers, with plans from life, health, property insurance, motor, public liability, and professional liability insurance. Whether you're protecting your family or your business, leave nothing to chance. Understand your options and protect yourself for the future. Speak to your FIS Insurance Broker agent today, located on Shedden Road by MoneyGram, or call 623-5616.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
A public service announcement from Radio Cayman. Coronavirus prevention tip. If persons have policy questions, you can go to gov.ky and click on coronavirus. Be in the know. You can find the latest advice and guidance for households, businesses, and schools, as well as advice pertaining to older persons or persons with chronic diseases. You can also email questions to flu@hsa.ky or the hotline numbers of 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077. For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/coronavirus.
The Cayman Islands Bankers Association, SEBA member retail banks, have announced amended branch operating hours and the temporary closure of some branches in support of the government's mandate. Mondays through Friday, the following branches will be open 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. until further notice, with priority being given to seniors and those considered vulnerable. Open Cayman National Bank Limited, Camana Bay, and Cayman Brac and Little Cayman branches. Scotiabank and Trust Cayman Limited, Camana Bay. Fidelity Bank Cayman Limited, Dr. Roy's Drive. Butterfield Bank Cayman Limited, Butterfield Place. Closed Countryside Shopping Village, Elgin Avenue, Buckingham Square, Centennial Towers. First Caribbean International Bank Cayman Limited, Main Street. RBC Royal Bank Cayman Limited, Shedden Road, Crew Road, Fidelity Financial Center, Midtown Plaza, Camana Bay, Governors Square, Health City, Plaza Venetia, and Regatta, Shamrock Road, Red Bay.
Banks have now adopted the surname initiative. Bank visits by last name are as follows: A to K, Mondays and Wednesdays. L to Z, Tuesdays and Thursdays. All last names on Fridays.
SEBA member retail banks will serve customers in accordance with social distancing guidelines within the banking hall and staff operating environment. Customers are encouraged to make use of their electronic banking services wherever possible.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers. We're going to close the lines off after those 3 callers. I hope and I trust that everyone listened to the public service announcement that just came on in relation to the banking services that are in place. So it speaks to it there, explains everything. But I also want to remind people that we individually have to exercise a large measure of patience in these very challenging times. We have to be patient. We cannot expect to get the same service that you would get under normal circumstances. That is extremely important as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning to Mr. Mclean as well.
Morning, sir.
Good. You know, in a time like this, I think all hands on board are doing a commendable job. But I can understand sometimes the frustration of individuals, people. Not to say now that they should be encouraged to not abide by the rules and regulations or the laws. But I would hope that something is taken into consideration, specifically identifying, like people taking a walk, especially in the morning, that they be allowed not to congregate, but to separate and take a good walk. I walk practically every morning, and it's so relaxing to take a good walk. After it's over, you feel so energetic, like you really accomplished something. And you have accomplished something because of your health reason. It's good for you. And I just hope that, I say that people, yeah, you might have the odd one that's still out there, but I think the way that
the premier is going about things. It's working out. People are beginning to listen to what's taking place. That's what I see. And the thing about, if I heard earlier commenting about what the commissioner of police said about warrant of intended prosecution, well, if that's the way it has to be, that's the way it should be, in my opinion, because if you're going to say execute judgment and bring the judges out to execute judgment like today, right now, I wonder if anyone would have thought about, suppose those people, if they don't have the money, well, they have to go in jail. So if they go in confinement, they in their self could be contaminated with the virus. So
that's not necessarily so, sir. So we shouldn't be saying that on the radio, because judges, especially on Class B cases, offenses, magistrates allow people to pay it, give you 2 months, 3 months, or whatever the case may be. So maybe we shouldn't broadcast that too much, but because the magistrates have a lot of discretion, a lot of leeway on fines and application of the law. The court rules gives them those discretionary manner in which they can apply those.
Okay. Go ahead, caller.
I just want to ask him. He's saying if consideration can be given to people who go out to do exercise, but yet he's doing exercise every morning. So I don't understand, because the regulations allow 1.5 hours for anyone to do exercise. It has not been restricted to like names or surnames or anything. So I didn't understand that part of what he was asking.
Go ahead, caller.
Well, yeah, if Mr. Mclean, just pause, please. Take a deep breath and give me a little chance to explain. I didn't say that was the case. I said I hope that it does not come down that you go in the alphabetical order, that people are restricted to get their exercise. Secondly, when you're talking about the judges giving people to pay fines, are you able to say how long this will continue into this manner, that it might continue 3 or 4 months? You're not able to say, and it's about saying on the radio. I'm not so stupid. I'm saying that the thing that the commissioner put in place of intended prosecution, I now agree and maintain that that's what should be doing, because you just can't say, well, you're going to just take people right up now and what's going to happen. I think he has the right idea, and I certainly support him with what he's doing if that is the case. But again, instead of being so heavy-handedly, I think people are getting the message. I see less people traveling, and I think that a lot of people
it depends on what
listening.
part of the island you are, sir.
Yeah, okay. The part of the island. Well, I'm up in a very quiet place. That's what I'm saying.
You got to be down. You got to be in town and in the eastern end of the island, and and at sometimes it's like business as usual.
Yeah, well, Lord, I gotta say this and get off, right? Let people take a good walk for an hour and a half and tell me how they feel when they get through it. They have all this extra energy to be just wondering about the place. So I maintain again that the Premier is doing an excellent job, and the Commissioner as well, and I want to commend them. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and some of the people are doing an excellent job as well, and others are making it extremely difficult for people to do their jobs by not adhering to the rules and to the regulations as well. I think we have the last caller, Ms. Susan, 2. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning.
And good morning to Mr. Arden.
Good morning.
I just want to take this opportunity to commend the government on the excellent job that they've been doing. But I have a question that came up yesterday at the briefing. I don't remember which report it was, but the question was raised. If the young people that came in on that flight are quarantined, why is it that when persons are diagnosed with the COVID-19, why are they not quarantined the same way that the young people were quarantined when they came in? And perhaps it's something that the government may explore, if this is something that needs to happen. I was recalling as a young child when we had polio and being quarantined. I was living in West Bay and we couldn't go out. And I wonder if this is something that perhaps, if they're having problems with these cases not being self-isolated, whether perhaps they may have to take a step further and talk about quarantining those who have been diagnosed. The fact that one of the groups is a family, we have to be patient with all the restrictions we have, but I believe we should be very careful to see that the spread doesn't happen more. If these persons who are supposed to be self-isolated or isolated in a house, whether or not they should be quarantined.
If you would stay on the line, caller, one of the things, and I'm not sure, but it is quite possible that in terms of the capacity to house those persons who would need to be quarantine, and one could argue, well, use facilities similar to what they're using for students as well. I think in the press briefing, they basically explained that checks were being made to those households, medical staff, that they're being checked and everything else. But it is really a good analysis to look at what we've done with the students and what we're doing, otherwise as well. I think that is a valid question and a valid analogy to be that is being made.
I tend to agree with the lady, but at this stage, I don't know if we need to go to that because of the limited amount, and if we can trust the officials, the authorities that say they are confident that the people are self-isolating in a manner that is conducive with suppressing that disease. And yeah, there may be some time they slip out because we can't be there all the time. Yeah, and you have a point. And at some stage, I know we're going to have to reach that. For instance, if we test everybody in this country and we find that there are a number of people that are asymptomatic, we are going to have to put them someplace, whether it's another hotel or another place, one of the halls or something. But I would lean towards putting them at another hotel, and we keep them there under government care, because that way, as we get them becoming tested and we just put them in another hotel. We got plenty of hotels here that we can use, and we have plenty of workers still on island that we can engage. Government can engage them.
Okay. Caller, any final words?
Yeah, I would like to add that in reading an article from Grenada, it appears that is the procedure that they're taking, that once they're identified, then they're quarantined, because they did have an article there that was talking about, I think it was a Canadian man that was identified as positive, and he actually left the island secretly, So we could explore what other countries are doing, but I did see that article from Grenada that they were quarantining those who had tested positive.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't reach that point soon.
Yeah, quite possible. Last commercial break and one more caller. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Sending money to your family overseas shouldn't be a full-day process. Stop waiting in lines. MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide, offering 3 convenient locations: Shedden Road, Baden Water Sports in West Bay, and at FIS Brack Agency in Cayman Brack. MoneyGram by Financial Integrated Services. Visit fiscayman.com for more information on MoneyGram services. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore.
know, there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please, everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I take the last call for the morning, I just want to make an announcement. I've been asked to announce that there will be no viewing again for the late Mr. Louis Ebanks this evening, and that a further announcement will be made at a later date. So there will be no viewing for the late Mr. Louis Ebanks this evening, as was previously announced. They will announce later on, they will announce details as to the viewing and whatever. So just wanted to announce that as well. Let's take the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C., and good morning, MLA. Arden Mclean. It's Gilbert Mclean.
Good morning, sir, and our sincere condolences to you and your family.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Good morning, Gilbert.
Yeah, O.C. and Mr. Mclean, I want you to help me here in a minute or two with a few things. But before I pose the questions, could I just quickly say, because I think it was yesterday someone called in and spoke about fishing boats and the amount of fish and so forth and so on that they had, and it seems like the bulk of it is sold to the supermarkets, but yet there was several thousand pounds on the boats. And I just wondered, why don't they ask the supermarkets that they deal with, where they may have large freezers and so on, to simply store that for them, weigh the fish so they know how much fish they have put in there, and as the supermarkets use it, of course, they could then pay them. So anyway, that was my thought on that particular thing. I just toss it out now as it comes to mind.
Yep, thanks for that.
See, is it the fact, and I've been trying to watch every single press conference, are they saying that we are getting ventilators, more ventilators? If how many? Any idea?
They had Gilly, they said they had announced before that 4 more were arriving, which would have put us over 40 ventilators on island. And then the CMO, as I understood it, said that they hadn't. He had mistakenly said that. Then later on, he said they had arrived. So we're over 40 ventilators in this country.
That is encouraging, but I hope that the government, and I'll say that I think I was the first one to ever call into your radio there a week and a half ago and said and offered my congratulations to the government. I really believe they are doing the right thing and going about it in the right way, and we seem to be ahead of plenty of countries that claim they're so smart. The other thing, and I want to make sure that I raise this one, the question of masks. I try to inform myself as best I can with what brain I have. And I've never been very tolerant of foolishness. I hear it repeated at least about 3 press conferences. If everybody in Cayman was wearing a mask, then it would be okay for everybody to wear a mask. And that the mask doesn't stop you or doesn't block the contagious virus from you breathing it It's just that it stops you, who could be completely well, from giving the other person the virus. Now, to me, OC and Mr. Mclean, either I'm supposed to be a fool or I do not understand anything whatsoever, and everything is not supposed to be logical. Because if that is so, why on earth do the doctors and nurses in these hospitals wear masks if it is not to stop the sick people?
Because they don't have it, Gilly, right? Because they don't have it. Because you see the pragmatism in you.
The healthy doctors and nurses is going to pass it on to the sick people.
You see
I wish that they would, the CMO or whomever would try to explain that unexplainable, as far as I'm concerned, thing, and stop saying that. What I would like to hear, OC and Mr. Mclean, is that they have ordered in 500,000 masks, that everybody in Cayman could get one, and definitely use them, because what is being said is totally nonsensical and ignorant, in my opinion. Now, you can tell me that I got it totally wrong, but good God, you tell me why the doctors and nurses are wearing the mask. They're trying to stop giving the sick patients the virus, or the other way around. Must matter.
But you know, anytime there's a contagious disease, all medical practitioners, whether they're nurses or whatever, wear glasses and contain the person. But I guess there's some pragmatism in what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, if tell people if they got masks, wear them.
Well,
of course they'll get moist and all of that stuff, but stop saying something that absolutely does not make sense to my thinking.
Yeah.
What
is lately happening now is that the whole thing about wearing masks is trending, and we're seeing more of it. Because what is happening is that the true nature and all of the aspects of this COVID-19 are still not yet known. We're hearing now that up to 27 feet, it is quite possible that the droplets or whatever can
if you
spread.
cough or something.
So they're learning more. I mean, if you listen to Dr. Fauci the other day, he said, there's so much that we don't know about this particular virus.
Right.
So we're still learning. So I guess anything that basically makes sense that may in any way prevent it, then to do it as well. Yeah. I want to thank Mr. Mclean for that. And again, all the best to him and his family.
I can say, OC, I know the government, I know as a fact, the government ordered hundreds of thousands of masks and
200,000, I think, was what
more than that, 300,000-400,000. But the problem they're having is that we were a small fish in a big pond, and when those guys ordering 10 million and 50 million, those are the ones that get priority. I am currently trying to get me 2,000 as well. But I want to get the washable ones, the reusable ones, the cloth ones, and I'm actively pursuing that from a country, and hopefully I'll get those and give them out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One last one. This person says, "Good morning. 2 recommendations regarding expats who are out of work as a result of the COVID-19 and CIG not having the wherewithal to cover their labor costs. One, changes that Cabinet is seeking to make regarding freeing up pensions should include expats, as this would ease the burden on the government. And 2, the change should allow expats who opt to leave the country to get their pensions." So that was that.
But that's the intent. Mm-hmm. That's the exact intent. Expats who leave this country after 2 years, they got to be away for 2 years, then they can apply for their pension. What we're suggesting, that money will never be here if those people leave. We will never get any use of it. it's going to be remitted, it's going to be sent to them. So we're saying, the opposition is saying, allow them to access it now, because it can be of use to them now when we're in this crisis and they're in this situation here with us, as opposed to government having to assist to that point. They can get it now because it's for Arena Day. There's no greater Arena Day than this one. And Caymanians as well access their pension. Now, mind you, I am not one to support. Remember when all those times they passed motions to take money out of pensions and the likes? The only reason I have told them that I would support it if it's put back in before they retire. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But there are circumstances under which anyone can have different circumstances.
Okay. Very quickly here.
Just let me say to Cayman, stay safe. Please stay home. Only if you're going out for essential business should you be out of your house.
And pretend that as if you have the virus, or the person that you're along with or next to, that they have it as well.
And
folks,
life is not what it was in Cayman. We did not create this. Cayman did not create this.
Okay, folks, I want to thank you.
We can do what is necessary to get Cayman back.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or elsewhere. I also want to remind you that we are brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling, Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. Stay safe, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.